Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, as you know, Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was based on the crossover series that involved IDW and DC Comics doing a story event where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cross over into the DC universe with Batman. Now, there is some differences from the story, and there are some things that have been altered in a way. For example, the difference is that Casey and April don't play any real part in it, and also the fact that in the TV show, in the film, it's stated that the Turtles mainly live in the same universe with Batman. Now, the premise of the film is mainly about Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles working together to stop Shredder and Ra's al Ghul from involving a sinister plot of wiping out humanity with mutagen and the Joker serum. And what's interesting is that we see the Turtles and Batman being brought into each other, and we see them trying to work together to stop the villains. Now, I do admit I would have liked to have seen Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and also Dick Grayson to be there as kind of counterpart to the Turtles, like having Dick Grayson, who's meant to be the leader, kind of like relating to Leonardo. I kind of feel you could have had Jason Todd relating to Raphael, given the fact they're both loners and have a bad temper. And I feel you could have had Tim Drake relating to Michelangelo. And I feel with Barbara Gordon as Batgirl relating to Donatello works well. And it's almost like the 2012 cartoon with April and Donnie. Now, I do admit, with the roster with Shredder and Ra's al Ghul, I could have seen, with Ra's al Ghul's side, having Talia and Nyssa working together, and I kind of could have seen Karai, Bebop, Rocksteady, and Han as basically working with Shredder. And it kind of feels like this could have also had, like, April relating to Barbara had she appeared, and both of them having this kind of, like sisterhood relationship. So, I do admit some of the casting isn't too bad. I do admit Troy Baker is once again Batman and still does a decent job. I do admit it's great to see Tom Kenny again voice the Penguin, but I do admit that Andrew Kenzio, known for playing Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat 9, and also known for playing in the 2012 TMNT cartoon, tries to be Shredder, but doesn't really feel like it. He's still going to be the same voice over and over again. Again, I could have easily have seen Gary Hiroyuki Takawa, who played Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, to voice Shredder, as it kind of has that somewhat feel to it in some way. But I do admit, when they actually also mutate some of the Batman villains, it's interesting to see what they're meant to look like. For example, with Bane, instead of being the African elephant that he was meant to be based on from the comics, is changed to a jaguar. It would have made more sense, but I would have gone with a lion. For example, Poison Ivy is changed from being a giant praying mantis into being a giant plant-like creature with some disadvantages. So, I do admit, I would actually like to see a sequel. I would actually like to see where else they could take the Turtles, and see where else they could actually bring them in. I could also want to see Splinter being involved, and have Batman with someone to relate to. And I would like to see some of the after effects after the movie. So I think somewhere it still holds up. The casting isn't too bad, but I do admit Andrew Kenjiro doesn't do a good job for Shredder, and I do admit Ben Kiro Vox, who voices Damien Wayne, doesn't really sound right for the part. I think what makes the film work is involving two properties working together and creating something interesting. And I think somewhere I could have easily have seen Krang as well at the end to have retrieved Shredder or something. But I think somewhere it still holds up. I think there are some things that could have been better, but I think somewhere it still holds up. I think it doesn't put itself on a too high shelf, but I think it deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.